People have always asked me what I truly meant when I wrote Gone with the Wind. For years I told them it was just a simple story about a girl who had a little gumption and a lot of flaws. I used to say I was merely writing about a time that was gone, a piece of history I grew up hearing about on the porches of Atlanta. But you're asking me to look deeper, to peel back the layers of the world I built and explain the shadows hiding behind the magnolias. If I must be entirely honest with you, the hidden meanings were never truly hidden at all. They were woven right into the red clay of Georgia, plain as day for anyone willing to look past the romance. Let us start with the title itself. The wind is not merely a breeze blowing through the peach orchards. It is the violent, unstoppable force of history, of war, of time itself. It is the great equalizer that sweeps away the fragile, beautiful, and fundamentally doomed society of the Old South. Everything that was built on an illusion, everything that could not bend to the harsh realities of the changing world, was simply blown away. Then there are the people who survived that wind, and those who did not. You see, Scarlett is not just a difficult, selfish woman. She is the sheer, unvarnished will to survive. She represents the brutal pragmatism required to live through the collapse of a civilization. She sheds her morals when they become too heavy to carry, just as one might throw heavy trunks off a sinking ship to keep from drowning. Ashley Wilkes, on the other hand, is the absolute embodiment of the Old South. He is cultured, honorable, poetic, and entirely useless when the real world comes crashing through his front door. Scarlett spends the entire novel chasing a ghost, a fantasy of a world that is already dead, which is exactly what so many of my contemporaries did in their own lives. They worshipped the memory of a society that was as fragile as a teacup. Rhett Butler is the harsh truth of the new era. He sees the world exactly as it is, stripped of all its romantic nonsense and chivalric lies. He is the opportunist, the realist, the man who knows that money and power are the only things that matter when the cannons start firing. He's the modern age, staring right into the face of the past and laughing at its hypocrisy. And do not mistake Melanie Hamilton for a weak woman. People always think she's just a frail, sweet little thing who cries too much. But Melanie is the true spine of the old world. She is the only one who possesses the genuine grace and inner strength that the South liked to boast about. She survives not by compromising her soul, as Scarlett does, but by the sheer force of her quiet courage and unwavering loyalty. Yet even she cannot live forever in a world that has moved on. Her death is the final death of the Old South. But if there is one true metaphor that anchors the entire book, it is Tara, the land. My father used to tell me that the land is the only thing in the world worth working for, worth fighting for, worth dying for, because it is the only thing that lasts. Tara is Scarlett's true mother, her ultimate salvation. When society falls apart, when money burns, when love fails, the red earth remains. The green velvet dress Scarlett makes from the porches of Tara is the perfect symbol of this survival. It is the old world repurposed to conquer the new. It is pride stitched together with absolute desperation. So, you see, I did not just write a romance. I wrote an autopsy of a society. I wrote about the terrifying cost of survival. The tragedy of Scarlett is not that she loses Rhett in the end. The tragedy is that she survives the wind, but in doing so, she becomes entirely hollowed out, left with nothing but the dirt beneath her feet and the cold realization that tomorrow is another day.